It happened the day I had just started reading Grimm's fairy tales out loud to my 3-year-old twins. I'm a big believer in reading aloud to children, and fairy tales are some of the most intriguing stories that can pull children into a lifelong love of story. So even though they were only 3, we were already making our way through The 12 Brothers, and Rapunzel, and Hansel and Gretel. Then my 5-year-old came home from school talking about how a boy in his class gets in trouble all the time because he's always making bad decisions. The other kids in the class called him a bad boy. He was one to stay away from. And I started thinking about my boys and all the people I know and myself. I started thinking about how sometimes we can forget who we are in moments of emotional turmoil, or moments where we don't really know what to do, or moments of great fear. That evening, we packed up for a picnic dinner at the neighborhood pool, because I live in Texas, where you can swim until the middle of November. I was still nursing a broken foot, so I stayed along the side of the pool, watching my boys dunk their heads, and asked if I'd seen them swim from one end to the other. One of my boys came over to me and pointed at something I don't remember now, and one single drop of water landed on that fairy tale book, and it was as if the sea witch lived inside that single drop of water. She was the first who came to mind. She was the first who asked me to tell her story. You see, I believe that the people who make unwise choices are just doing the best they can with what they have. They come from different backgrounds. Sometimes they don't know any better. Sometimes they're just trying to stay alive in a world we know nothing about. And when I thought about that kindergarten boy all the others had labeled as bad, and when I thought about all these characters who were known as evil, I felt something shift down inside. What if there were no real villains? What if there was a reason for everything they did, and the way that we could help them most was just to understand them? So, that began my different journey into Fairendale. I made my list of villains, and then I framed my story around them, exploring what they might have been as children. I created my evil king, who, in my mind, looks a lot like Chris Farley, so of course he's not all bad. I imagined my land, with its magnificent color and perfect weather and humble village. And as I wrote, I knew that this series was going to be about more than just good and evil. It was going to be about worth and power and rich and poor and how we all need each other. This series will carry my heart in its pages. I'll share more about how I hope the world will be different after Fairendale in the next video. Thanks for watching.